And we're live.
Nice.
All right. So, part 2 of the iceberg, the Hunterchad Tier, moving down. I'm excited for today's episode. I guess there's not really much to intro, so we should just get into it.
Absolutely.
Pika, if you may.
Very well. The first theory is 4 temperament ensemble.
I'm not sure what this means.
Yeah.
I'm just going to Google
I'm
it.
unaware of this theory. So, if you may, Mr. Koga, look this up.
You can keep going on the iceberg if you want while I look this up, and if it's anything of note.
Okay. Next, Kurapika is a girl. Now,
I like this one.
of course you do.
I want this one to
Koga.
be real.
Bruh.
A lot of people
I don't know.
want it to be
I don't
real.
really know how to feel
Yeah.
about that, Koga. Anyway, a lot of people definitely, when they start out in the series, think that he is a girl, probably because of the long hair and in the animes. He does have a feminine voice.
Yeah. Also,
But,
I think this because Togashi is also so ambiguous with the genders always.
Right.
So maybe fans are interpreting that, but I don't know.
Right.
So
I
what the hell
also,
is this?
on one of the volumes, it shows him without a shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
At least in Japan, they don't allow things like shonen, like manga, to have a female character shirtless in the as the cover, if you know what I mean. But they do allow that for men and boys. So I mean, if it really was a female, then it probably would have gotten flagged somehow during publishing. But then
Yeah.
besides in the
Yeah,
story,
you could be right. Because there's a couple, I think, covers of Pika where it is just like naked on the cover.
Yeah, so I just don't. I mean, obviously, people really want it to be true. However, I don't see any evidence to prove otherwise. I mean, until there is evidence to say otherwise, I'll always think he is a boy. Yeah.
So you're attracted to her?
What?
to him, sorry.
I am not attracted.
I'm just talking
in
to the
any way.
people. No, not
Oh.
you. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
to the audience right now. So you're attracted to Pika, right? But that makes you uncomfortable because he's a boy. Why don't you
Right.
just be comfortable with your attraction? If you're attracted to him, then you're attracted to him. Embrace it. Okay. So what I was getting from the 4 temperament ensemble, it's basically just a writing trope where you have 4 different temperaments in like the main characters, and they all they're all like different roles that exhibit like different energies. So there's like a hot-blooded one. Wait, no, hold on. There was a better explanation here.
I saw the link. It looks like a trope, like
Yeah.
basically.
Writing trope, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically saying, yep, it uses this kind of trope for the main 4. Someone leads, someone disagrees, someone is smart, someone is tough, is what it's trying to say about the main 4, which, I makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it falls into that category, but then
Yeah.
what is this theory? It's
it's
fact, I guess.
Yeah, it's not really a theory. It's just I'm more so seeing a lot of these things in the iceberg as less like theories and more just like looking at the series in different ways.
True.
So I guess this is just like the Hunterchad realization that they use the 4 temperament
Good point.
ensemble. I don't know. maybe that's the reason why this is on here.
No,
But
I think-
I guess there's nothing really more to that. It could give insight into like how the character arcs are going to go. If there's like if Togashi is going to be following these tropes to a T, we might get some insight by researching those tropes. But yeah, there's nothing really else to it. So I guess we can move on.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Gon Moro. So that's obviously a combination of Gon and Hisoka Moro. What are your guys' thoughts
I
on
think
this?
I think it's implying that Gon is Hisoka's like son or like related somehow.
Yep. It's slightly disturbing.
It could now physically, yeah, but I mean, Gon and Hisoka are similar in their ways, and especially when it comes to combat. I mean, Hisoka's obviously older, so he has a much more developed sense. But in terms of, let's say, fighting psychology, Gon and Hisoka are the same. They both love fighting strong opponents. While Gon, they both get a rush from fighting. I mean, maybe this is just saying, instead of just implying like, oh, Gon is related to Hisoka, maybe it's saying Gon is like Hisoka in a sense.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they're literally saying Gon Morel like it's his last name, so it seems like they're trying to say it's like a family relation thing.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure this theory is just based off of both of their love for combat, as you said. So I think it's not really anything of note.
Yeah,
There's just nothing really else to base this theory on. It's kind of just
since most of Hisoka's past is still largely a mystery, even with the backstory we have of him. It's still like a mystery.
Yeah, this is more of a meme than a theory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like a legitimate theory.
For sure.
If you guys want to move on, I'd be
Let's
down.
do it.
All right. Next, we have the 13th Zodiac. Implying that
I'm not sure what this is referring to.
I think it's referring to the idea that obviously there's 13 Zodiacs instead of just there being 12.
There's
If that
12
clears anything up.
zodiacs, right?
Apparently it's about a 13th Zodiac.
Yeah, it's like an extra member.
Okay.
Right, but if we does it specify like any potential suspects to who this Zodiac might be? If you guys have anything on that, or just...
Hunter x Hunter 13th Zodiac.
I'm blanking out on this one.
I'm assuming it's some. I mean, actually, it might have something to do with like the amount of zodiac symbols that exist. I'm not like super knowledgeable on zodiac symbols, but
I'm pretty sure there's only 12 last time I checked. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm only counting 12.
Each zodiac represents, I'm pretty sure, a month or a year of some sort.
Something like that.
So, I mean, 13th Zodiac, if we're going to be talking about like the actual zodiacs, I don't know what it could be. If we're talking about potential members of the zodiacs in terms of the Hunter Association, it could be...
Beans.
Okay. Fine. Chief Executive Beans is apparently a zodiac, according to you.
He's
There we
powerful
go.
enough.
We found our 13th German zodiac. I mean,
Maybe it's referring to someone that left the zodiacs and they just didn't officially leave, but they just don't come to meetings, so they just forgot about him, and there's a accidental 13th zodiac from a miscount or something like that. Even though I doubt that's what it is, considering that how organized the Hunter Association is, they wouldn't have miscounts.
Yeah, they wouldn't miscount, although they do have members that like to skip out.
Unless it was a sabotage.
I would say this is just kind of another meme. Like it's oh my gosh, guys, can you imagine a 13th Zodiac? Like YouTube clickbait bullshit.
Yeah, dude, that's
like, bro.
That's pretty sus of you, man.
Yeah.
13
Dank
Zodiac.
moment.
YouTube moment. All right. Shall we move on to the next one?
The normie tier was better than this tier so far. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Like,
but yeah, let's keep moving on.
Okay, next. Machi will kill Hisoka.
Now, this is a theory I can get behind.
Yeah, considering that, especially after what happened with Hisoka and Chrollo in Heaven's Arena, how Hisoka just was basically bungee gummed Machi and walked away saying that, oh yeah, he's gonna kill the spiders. How angry she was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Machi's Nen stitches, do you think that they can be versatile enough to win against Bungee Gum? Because Machi, as Chrollo has said, is not really a true combat fighter in terms of the spiders. She's more of a lifeline or support.
Oh, yeah.
However, it has been shown that she definitely can use those Nen stitches in a combat manner.
Maybe she will deal like the final blow or something like that.
Right.
But like when like Hisoka gets like he fights the other spiders, he'll be damaged probably, and then like Machi just finishes him off when he's like half dead or something.
The last that we've heard from Hisoka, he was still badly injured from his fight in Heaven's Arena, but it's covered up through Texture Surprise.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously he's in a lot worse condition than he normally would. So in a 1v1 fight, let's say, just a hypothetical, right? Hisoka versus Machi after Heaven's Arena, Machi would have a lot more of a chance than if Hisoka was at his normal fighting power.
But, well, yeah. There's also his Nen after death, which was not really explained, really. If is it really like stronger or not, or like, I don't know. Like, does that have an effect on his current Nen? It's hard to tell, but
yeah, we haven't seen him, so it's like we say, we don't even know if he's on the Black Whale, though it can be assumed, but it hasn't been confirmed. So
yeah, the whale just left without him.
Yeah, Hisoka the troll.
Omega lol.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's Nen. You can create a scenario where a character can win in that specific scenario.
Yeah. For sure.
I would be more interested in if Machi had a fortune reading when Chrollo used Neon's ability, because those fortunes seem to be coming true for the other members. So I wonder if there's something that you could kind of pull from that to match this theory. But for the most part, I think it's just looking at Machi, her rage against Hisoka, and then him using her as like the messenger to go tell the spider like, hey, Hisoka's gonna come kill us all, like flipping that on its head and being like, yeah, she'll be the one to off him in like some dramatic irony. I think it's just kind of looking at that trajectory. But if I tried looking up to see if she had like a fortune, and I couldn't really find anything. I might have to like go to the manga volume and kind of flip through it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else on Machi will kill Hisoka?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
All right.
Shall we move on?
I guess we move on.
Yes.
All right, next. Hunter x Hunter designed as an IQ test. Remember, guys, only the elite 200 IQ anime watchers and manga readers can actually interpret Hunter x Hunter. All right, we need to gatekeep Hunter x Hunter. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, well,
We're just so
Um,
weak compared to
I-
other series, other shonens.
I sure hope it isn't an IQ test because I can't understand the Succession War for shit. And if that's any indicator, I'm dumb as fuck. I think this is just a really funny meme.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything really to it.
Yeah.
Although I don't know anything about IQ tests and their design, so I can't really make a comparison.
Yeah,
so.
it's like saying that something is so it's basically making the claim that Hunter x Hunter is only for the elites and only for the really intelligent ones. It's like this. It's like saying that, oh yeah, Rick and Morty requires an IQ of 200 in order to watch. It's the exact same thing, just with Hunter. Remember that back like 4 years ago, back when Rick and Morty was considerably popular, and everyone would just say, "Oh, that copy pasta is like you." None of you guys truly understand how deep Rick and Morty is, and how you need to be smart and intelligent
It's
to
beautiful.
truly understand the humor behind the series.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing here, but with
I
Hunter.
guess so, yeah.
It's an IQ test. Huh? What? You didn't understand the impact of the whole Chimera Ant arc on your first watch? Well, you just might be. You just have to be dumb as a brick then.
Yeah.
What?
So-
You're rereading the Succession War chapter this week? What are you, 90 IQ?
Are you fucking stupid? So yes.
What? You want me to explain Serodnik's ability to you? What?
What? I don't want to do that.
What do you mean?
Your small brain is so small you wouldn't be able to comprehend it. Mine's just too large.
Did you graduate high school? Is this a serious question? Anyway, I think that's there's nothing really to draw
I
from that
want
except for
a
memes.
Hunter x Hunter version of the Rick and Morty 200 IQ copy pasta within the week of this releasing. I want to see it.
True.
All right, we need to see it.
Commenters, make it happen.
Yes. Redditors, you know what to do. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Nen-induced time travel.
I mean, we kind of see it
Yeah, with
with
Serodnik's
some
ability.
characters.
Serodnik's ability.
Serodnik
Yeah,
specifically.
Parallel future. But yeah,
So yeah, it's possible.
yeah. The theory
But-
about how I works definitely involves controlling time and space, like we talked about on an earlier episode.
Yeah, possibly.
So, Nen has shown that it can control time, and if it can control time, it can obviously control space. So, Nen-induced time travel. We definitely have talked about this before. I'm pretty sure on the Nen extremes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, there have been indications to this being true. And I think we do have a few abilities that definitely showed, but we don't know the full, all of the functions, nor do we know how it exactly works, how it can affect not just the Nen user, but the surrounding environment and people.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It has a lot of implications. We don't know if Takashi were to write it, how exactly it'd work, other than just like giving it to a specialist and being like, it just works.
It just is.
So, I mean, it's, you know, you could probably end up with a character that can time travel. It's Nen can do anything, it seems.
Yeah, but it's weird writing about time travel because if you only write in the perspective of the time traveler, then it makes more sense. But if you try to explain it to someone that's not in that perspective, it can be quite confusing and can turn off a lot of readers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, he can just time travel and like erase all the bad things that happen. It's like, yeah. Time travel stories are interesting because it's kind of like a puzzle that the main character, the time traveler, has to solve in order to make things right.
Yes.
And it's kind of seeing the puzzle fit together. So I don't know if we're ever going to really see it outside of Serodnik. We'll just have to see, I guess.
Shall we move on to the next one? Do you guys have any additional thoughts?
Yes.
No, sure, let's go.
All right. I guess we'll just move on to the next one then.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything from you, Gil,
Serious
so...
Leorio.
All right, no more serious Leorio. We're recording right now.
Editor, whoever's editing this, fade in the Serious Leorio image in that silent spot there.
Yeah, that's going to be
for the
me.
duration
That's
of
going
that
to be me
silence.
that's editing. You know that.
Okay, thank you, Pika.
No problem. I always help you guys out. All right, next. Pariston protects the Hunter Association. I mean, in some ways, I think so. I mean, we haven't had anything.
I wouldn't put.
Yeah.
Because if you just let it totally go to shit, then you know what? There's nobody left to troll.
Yeah. Nothing to manipulate, nothing to have fun with. You gotta protect your toys.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'd say it's circumstantial at best.
Yeah.
Like we've already kind of seen him move on from like the Zodiacs to the Dark Continent, it seems, or just like Beyond's team and his. I don't know what he's up to. He's just doing his own thing at the moment.
I think he's going to try to fuck up Jing in his exploration.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I don't know why he was in Beyond's team before Jing arrived there. Like maybe he was predicting Jing was there, or maybe there's some other completely separate reason. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's too much to this one. Do you guys have any thoughts? My head is empty.
Not really.
I don't have any more theories for now. Shall we move on?
Yes, we shall.
Very well. Next. Goto is still alive.
Is he now?
So, as you guys know, during the election arc, Hisoka killed Goto since he was working with Hisoka at the time.
Rolled.
And then at the end, we actually see, I think this is canon, we see Canary and I'm pretty sure Tsubone at Goto's grave, and then I think it was a Kuriko. Those magical nen beasts, those magical beasts from the very beginning, they actually came over and they shapeshifted into Goto. So essentially saying, no one will know about Goto's death, which really brings the idea of, was that Goto that we experienced throughout the entire series beforehand? Was that the actual Goto, or was that a Kuriko?
Yeah.
I think, it's kind of I don't know. It's just kind of like another one of those like soy Wojak. What if he's still alive memes? I don't really think there's.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much to this one. I think they just kind of saw that ending scene and they were like, wait, he's still alive? And then we saw it was a Kiriko and they were like, oh man, but what if he was alive? And they just
what if Goto
slammed this on the keyboard.
What if Goto was secretly a Kuriko all along and he was never human? What if he was always a Kuriko? That's the real question.
More dank theories.
HunterchX Dank. That's what.
Here's a cooler theory. If Kurikos can shapeshift in any form they like, would they be able to heal a wound like a slit throat by shifting their form?
Oh my god.
So if Goto was a Kiriko and his throat was slit, could he just like transform out of it? But I don't know. Would he continue fighting Hisoka after he got his throat slit? Like it logic kind of falls apart.
I don't think his shapeshifting ability, like a Kuriko's shapeshifting abilities, works with wounds. I mean, they can change the shape, but it still has the same amount of matter. So having a cut, for example, or getting your throat slit, it still translates to your throat getting slit as your natural body. Because otherwise,
I actually wouldn't say that.
Really?
Like, I feel like a shapeshifter is. I mean, it kind of depends on like the rules of the ability. Like, if you're just taking on the appearance, but like your body kind of acts as almost like a soul of sorts, and that soul that gets hurt in a particular way applies to all the forms that you take on. But like a true shapeshifter would just be able to control all of the cells that they're made up of, so they would be able to take on any form and thus heal any physical wound. True. So like, it just depends on how the ability would work. Anyway, we're kind of getting real deep into useless semantics here. I think we should move on.
It's always a good talk, though. Anyway, next. The Calamities are not the villains. Emphasize on the word
True.
not. Is that true? Can you say that again for
I
the
think this is a
audience?
giga true because with I being like basically Killua's adopted sister, like at this point they're just kind of forces of nature. And, you know, if you can befriend a force of nature, you befriend the force of nature. You know, that they're powerful, but they don't have to be like a villain per se.
Now,
I think most villains are going to be like more character based. So, like the Chimera Ants could take on human characteristics, and that's why they were able to take on the villain role.
I'm going to have to
Go ahead, Pika.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I is a calamity that can is seemingly be kind to humans. However, take for example Hellbell. The last time humans encountered Hellbell, Hellbell killed 99% of the crew of 300 people. I'm pretty sure 11 survived. Hellbell makes it so that way humans experience extreme homicidal tendencies. So that's why its danger, his bounty is so high. The Calamities are powerful, yes, and maybe I can experience human emotion. However, they are forces of nature, like you said. Not all of them, even if they are powerful and are intelligent, don't have the necessary components to understand emotion, to understand, let's say, human companionship in the way I does. So I disagree. I think it should be reworded to some of the Calamities may not be the villains, because we haven't seen enough of it. We've only heard about the statistics and reports from other adventures to the Dark Continent to go to Lake Mobius. So I think is that until we actually meet the Calamities in when I say in person, I mean like through actual chapters of the characters landing and stepping foot on the Dark Continent, we will not truly know. Because remember, so many people's minds are totally in their mental state are totally fried by the time they get back. Very few people actually come back from the Dark Continent alive, but also mentally sane. So I think that
they get Lovecrafted.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot more nuanced than just the Calamities are not the villains or black and white. I think it's a lot more of a gray area.
Oh yeah.
So like
it would be
like you said, obviously there are multiple out there in terms of their species. So maybe they can, develop human companionship with, say, in Aluka's body and develop the relationship with Killua. I think that's totally possible, and it has been shown. However, with like Hellbell, Zobe, and the others, I don't think until we actually see more, I can't really say whether they are the villains, considering how you have to classify what makes a villain.
Yeah, and I was just saying, like, we're more likely to get characters as villains rather than just kind of these random forces of nature. So that's why I was kind of like, yeah, this is probably going to be right. Like, we're most likely going to be dealing with human characters as, like, the villains, and then these Calamities, at most, they're just, like, complications in the situations, like that we'll get in the Dark Continent.
Exactly. I think so too.
But yeah.
Like in that way, they're not the villains.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we kind of covered everything we could about that, unless you wanted to add something, Pika.
It's good food for thought.
Yeah. Especially considering that when Togashi comes back, we're going to be coming even closer to the Dark Continent. We should start thinking about these things more often.
Someday.
Hopefully by more than 10 chapters.
Someday, boys. Someday.
It's going to be on chapter 420. I know, I'm super funny. Everybody laugh. Everybody laugh, otherwise I look really cringe. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. All
right, let's keep moving.
All right, next. Zeno is a pro hunter. I can believe this.
Yeah, I could totally believe this.
I mean, Illumi had it. He's very powerful, but don't forget, if we use the example of Illumi had to acquire a hunter license in order to do a certain contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure during his entire career, I'm sure that he needed a hunter license at some point. So just to make things easier, and he
Exactly.
can definitely pass the test and everything.
Pretty
So
sure all of the Zodiacs might have even. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
so-
know.
I would love
Zodiacs,
to
I mean, the
see a
Zoldycks.
side story. Yeah, I agree with Gil. I'm pretty sure like all of them would have got it by this point if Illumi had to go get one.
yeah,
For sure. I was just gonna say I would love to see a side story of Zeno going through the Hunter exam and like Netero being one of the examiners and like watching over his progress, and like their interactions throughout I think would be really interesting because they're
True.
described as lifelong friends, right? And Netero has known Zeno since he was like born. We get that one shot where Zeno's looking up from the crib and Netero's there all looking all like an old man actually.
Yep.
Not as old as we see him obviously, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see something like that.
think
Just
so too,
putting that out there.
yeah. So Zeno's.
I agree with this.
I definitely think Zeno's a pro hunter. Easy, just plain and simple. Easy cut.
Yep.
All right.
Easy
next.
cut.
Hunter unofficial license.
The ones that you get off eBay, the Etsy ones.
Yeah,
that's
those
what's
ones.
Yeah. By
I
Jane.
kind of want one of those credit card sleeves that makes it into under
Yeah,
license.
you know
That'd
what
be
I
cool.
don't just like about it is that when you have the sim like, or the how do you call it, the metal part of it,
The
you
chip?
know?
The chip.
I just don't like how it shows on the card. Like,
Okay.
otherwise not bad, but
Oh, so you have the mod?
yeah,
You have the sleeve?
Nah.
What a hunter.
You're
I
one step
just
ahead
want
of us.
one of those cards, you know, one of those.
He also Hunterchad apparently. That's what it is.
True. I think this might just be referring to hunters who don't learn Nen and never get like
They never passed.
I
the
don't know,
second
but
part
like
of the test.
the kids don't get their hunter license upgraded after they learn Nen, so I don't think it's that. I don't know, man. What could it be?
Yeah, it's a bit
Hunter
of a
unofficial
mystery.
license.
Like a fake license, like a dubious copy.
I'm not sure if it would be that. It seems more specific than that because it's like, yeah, I guess there would be like forged licenses, perhaps.
Maybe it's license given by Beans and of a
Beans. Of course, it's always
only
beans.
for the special task force or whatever.
It always comes
Could be
back to
whatever.
beans.
No.
Yeah.
Beans
yeah,
is special task force.
For the first time, I think I just imagining him in SWAT gear. That was funny. I think for the first time, I just have no idea what the hell this could be talking about. So yeah, I'm wanting to move on. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. I just found like Amazon listings for little plastic things.
I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Illumi's second needle.
Ooh.
What are your guys'
Monka?
thoughts on that? Monka shake.
So, I don't know.
I don't think I
maybe
agree with this one.
what my mind went to was so Killua already had a needle in his head when he left the mansion and went to the hunter exam, and then when he faced Illumi in the final phase, he put a second needle in his head. I think it's trying to say something like that, but I just don't think so.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that it could also be referencing like maybe Illumi has a second needle, but it's not implanted in Killua. Maybe it's something like an Aluka to keep track of her.
No,
it could be
yeah.
in Kaluto.
Perhaps.
That's a
It could
good
be in
idea.
Kaluto to to keep track of his progress.
Yeah.
He could have it in Miluki for all we know.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be in like one of the other
One of the other Zelda
Kaluto
children.
seemed to make sense to me. Because Kaluto kind of is in a similar situation where
True.
the family has really high expectations of Kaluto being a certain way, and Illumi is using a needle to keep him that way. But I don't know, like, it makes sense from that standpoint, but the way we've seen Kaluto act within the story seems to... I mean, Killua defied his household with the needle. Well, no. Yeah, basically. It could be that he has a needle and his... Yeah, my logic's falling apart here, but I was just... What I said earlier applies, I think. It could fit in, like, Kaluto's case. I'll just say that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to say about this one?
I've got nothing else to say.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling because we're 36 minutes in and we're not halfway through this segment of the iceberg yet. So,
Hey, don't worry about it. We do it. All right, we're good. All right, next. The Hunters Association was founded for the purpose of traveling to the Dark Continent.
Nah, that's interesting.
I feel like that's a possibility.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
That's a possibility.
I think it's totally a possibility. You know, like an association specifically that monopolizes Nen as much as possible. So they task the members with keeping it a secret from other members and only initiating other hunters. So making sure that the people they're initiating are going to be hunters or are hunters. And then training those people up in order to take on the Dark Continent and reap the rewards in the Dark Continent. I could totally see it being founded for that purpose. And then I think it's just existed for so long that it may have just strayed away from that. Like, I don't know, Netero... I don't know, would you guys say that Netero had the Dark Continent in his in its sights, or he forbade going to the Dark Continent, right? Or was that just beyond?
He forbade travel to the Dark Continent because remember, humans and some of the Dark Continent creatures have an agreement for humans to not go to the Dark Continent, to not travel there. So I don't know if this agreement was before Netero, but I mean, Netero has been to the Dark Continent, so he was there to experience it. It could just be that the Dark Continent displayed some real horrors, and he didn't really want anybody else to travel there for now, considering that it would breach the agreement that humans and the other people have. And that if Netero himself, in his prime, was not able to champion all the other beasts there, then there's some real serious shit. Because this was Netero in his prime when he was young, not during his fight with Meruem. So I mean, this goal, the Hunter Association definitely could have been for traveling. Was made to travel to the Dark Continent. I think that's a really interesting idea, and that would be something that would be pretty cool if it was explored more. However, in modern times, I don't think it was like the main goal. Because due to how Netero decided to rule the Hunter Association, he primarily just focused on Darwinistic ideas and just basically gathering the strongest Nen users, and basically the strong survive while the weak either fail or die.
Well, not
exactly
super necessarily
exactly,
true. Like he sacrificed his life to save like humanity.
No, obviously, but I mean, like I'm saying, when how he ruled the association, if you know what I mean, how
he like structured the tests.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for like tests.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm focusing on the tests primarily because that's how you gain new members to become hunters. Because from there, if they don't know then you teach the people who pass how Nen. So which not every person can use because their aura nodes aren't open. So I'm saying in that sense, then he's more Darwinist because he needs.
Yeah, I actually.
The Hunter Association needs the strongest and people with the most amount of potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just gonna say I actually super duper believe this now. Like after thinking about it, like it just seems so cool to me. Like you have a monopoly on all. Like you have a monopoly on the people who are able to reap the rewards from the Dark Continent. And that means you just have a monopoly of all the benefits from the Dark Continent. And like as a business model, like you're set at that point. And I think like it just makes sense for an association to be founded that way.
Yes.
And yeah, it just seems like it's kind of strayed away from that original goal, like over time. But that, yeah, it just seems like it'd be super cool if it was if that was the case. But yeah, I think we've kind of circled around this enough. Should we move on?
Yes, I think we should.
Let's move on.
All right, next. Queen Oito and Crollo are siblings.
Based on what?
They look similar. They both have darker color hair, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if this was actually true, the
guess.
irony would be palpable, to say the least. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. It would be very interesting.
Has it ever been said that Queen Oito is actually from Meteor City?
I think she was just described to grow up in extreme poverty, and like she wanted the lavish lifestyle, and that was kind of her goal.
I see.
So I guess it's just kind of picking up on those scraps. Like they look similar, and they were like poor as children. Oh, dude,
guys, if you're poor as fuck, if you're just poor beyond belief, you don't have food, you don't have a house, you're obviously related to Crollo and the Meteor City citizens, quote unquote citizens, because the city doesn't exist. So yeah, remember guys, if you're poor as fuck out there, you're apparently related to Crollo. Who knew?
Yeah, this guy saw a homeless man on the street, and he was like, "Yo, Meteor City in real life, bro, that's so sick."
That's base.
Okay, I think this is just another meme one. Let's move on.
All right, next. Sailsail's plan to change the world is still in motion.
Based. It would be so funny if he actually had like a plan. I would enjoy this so much if there was just some random bullshit that was going, like the cogs were turning in the background. Sail had set up this crazy shit, and we're about to see it in like the final showdown. Oh my gosh, bruh.
All right. Fat bastard.
In reality, probably not.
I mean,
but
his Nenbeast has been
funny.
destroyed during the Succession War. His Nenbeast has been destroyed from the from the urn.
Was part of
He's
his
dead,
plan.
isn't he?
Sailsail, I'm pretty
His
sure.
Nenbeast.
Yeah, his Nenbeast is dead. I'm pretty sure.
No, he is dead.
Sailsail is still alive. Let me check.
He was choked to death, right?
Yeah.
Or he suffocated or something. Yeah, I remember the image of him in bed, and he's like,
Yeah.
or was that the wind
Oh,
blow
he is dead. I'm
guy?
stupid. He is dead. Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
just
Yeah,
fucking stupid. I just forgot.
Pepe hands.
I just
Would be
completely
funny, though.
forgot that Sailsail can be so forgettable.
He lives on in our hearts.
Fat bastard.
Yeah, I like this theory.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
He
It's
was
cute.
assassinated by one of Prince Benjamin's soldiers. Pretty sure. Yeah, there we go.
Rolled.
All right. Next.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next. Kurapika's lifespan. I don't know why you wanted this here, Koga. I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty explained phenomenon. I feel like most people who have definitely read the manga to this point definitely know of the effects.
So I would have put this on like the first tier. This is an addition that we made after recording the first episode. Just a sneaky little one that we put on here. I think this deserves to just be on here because it's like, whoa, bro, if this if he's been using this ability like this the entire time, and he's been using this ability for like years now, doing like mafia work, and when he used it against the Phantom Troop, like maybe he's got much less of his lifespan left than we initially thought. Did you ever think about that, bro?
Okay.
Bro, I just wanted to kind of bring that up, but that's basically
All right.
the extent of that.
I see.
Yeah, it's definitely true. It's that bro realization moment, like you were.
But don't forget that the exercise known as 10 actually does slow, increase life, age expectancy. Like, I'm pretty sure, like it slows down
A little bit.
It slows down the process not by a significant amount, but a little bit. So, NEN users
We
typically
do a little 10.
NEN users typically live longer than average civilians with their civilian medical equipment. So, I mean, Netero, when he died, he was definitely past 110 years old. I mean,
and he could have lived for much longer, I reckon.
Yeah, but that's just from what we know. I mean, Maha Zoldyck, if he's still, because I'm pretty sure he's still alive. He's very, very old. He's definitely past 100. If Zig Zoldyck is still alive, who knows that? What about isn't Don Freaks rumored to be around 300 years old or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's apparently a master NEN user, a NEN master, one could say. So, in terms of the lifespan is if we think about like a normal human, it's definitely something to be more concerned over. However, based on what we know of NEN and life expectancy and how it influences it, I think obviously it should be taken with concern, but maybe not as much. Like, sure, let's say he's lost 10 years, right? 10 years for a powerful NEN user is different from 10 years from an average civilian.
Yep, true.
So, I think that should just be remembered.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he gets stuck in his ability like he theorized he may.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's keep moving on.
He has already passed out from using the ability too much on the Black Whale. I mean, he has been stuck because remember he had to keep the ability active so Oito can use Little Eye, because in order to use Stealth Dolphin and for her to use the ability, he has to keep Emperor Time active.
And he was worried that he would run into an ability that he wouldn't be able to fulfill the conditions of. But yeah, let's keep moving.
All right, next.
Next.
Dark Continent Colonization Project V5 in parentheses. Now, do you think that the V5 are going to try to colonize the Dark Continent eventually?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all the nations have kind of like a vested interest in the resources in the Dark Continent. They just have no idea how the hell to do it. So I guess like maybe they have a plan, but who knows? It would make sense for them to have a plan. Let's just say that.
Right.
They banned travel.
Anything else?
Because they brought calamities every time they did expeditions there. So
Okay.
they are kind of against it, but yeah, I guess some secret project, some sort of secret agenda that we don't know of actually is happening.
Right.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to monopolize it in some way, do some secret, we do a little exploring meme.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It'd be like a cool premise for like a short story or something, like some V5 underground exploration team.
Yeah.
That actually sounds sick. I'd totally read that. Let's keep moving then. I don't think there's much else here.
Now, to contradict Krollo, Judas was actually a traitor. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not really super well versed on Judas lore, so I
Jude.
I don't know. Is he a traitor? Is he not?
All right, I've got a question for
what's
you,
going
Coco.
on?
Is the Bible
Sure.
really just Christian manga?
Hey, I own one of those Christian manga things. The Manga Messiah, that's what it's called.
Nice.
You need to flash
Beast.
an image of that on screen.
Okay. Okay, bud. Thank you.
Funny meme.
Okay, thank you. Top tier editing, folks. Like and subscribe. Anyway, do you guys have anything else to say about it? Because, I mean, I think
I think this is just like somebody on the iceberg who's like, well, actually, Judith was a traitor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though many people believe Judas.
Take that, Crollo.
Many people believe that Judas
Theory.
was a traitor to Christ, but Crollo doesn't. So, no more power to Crollo. All right, screw him. Anyway, let's continue.
Mhm.
I'm saying let's continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
The soy Crollo cannot even fathom a member of his troop betraying him.
Next, Beyond and Zodiac's alliance. This is gonna be an interesting social experiment in the later chapters.
Mm.
Can't believe I just said social experiment. Jesus.
It's a funny buzzword. I like it.
Guys, social
Take
experiment.
us back to like
2016.
2016.
Yeah, 2016
Yeah!
prank YouTube.
We're on the same
Yeah.
wavelength. 2016
Dude,
YouTube.
Yes. Yes. So, guys, we're going to do a social experiment on how this prank would go. Cops got called on me. Gone wrong. Anyway, let's go back on topic.
Oh, dude, it's such
Yeah,
cancer.
Dude, I know 2016 YouTube was a whole nother beast and it was based, but we need to stay on this topic. We can talk about that later, all right?
I walk into the Kurta camp and call them devils. A social experiment gone wrong.
I'm going to come for you then, Koga. You better not do that.
Monka, guys, help.
No doing that. No disrespecting the
so-
Kuta. Anyway.
Beyond and the Zodiac's alliance, I can see it. I think Beyond has like the charisma. Like,
Maybe.
given the circumstances, he could like lead them in an alliance. I think he could do that for sure.
I'm pretty sure, isn't he like an unofficial leader, man explorer for the Dark Continent? Basically, he's going to be...
Yeah,
He's in a jail cell right now, but as soon as they get to the Dark Continent, they're going to release him for him to show the way for everybody else. Because apparently he's been to the Dark Continent before.
Yeah.
they've given him like they've struck up some kind of deal where they're like, okay, we could like control you, but you like help us navigate the Dark Continent. I'm pretty sure that's like the agreement that they have.
Yeah. Basically, we're allowing you to go back there, but you're going to have to follow our rules.
Yeah, and you have to like help us do the stuff in the DC, and I bet he's gonna do a little trolling and try and do his own thing, but we'll see.
We do a little trolling.
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
What do you guys think of this? Should we move on?
Yeah, I think we
Let's
should.
move on.
All right, next. Nasubi's chamber. That disgusting Nen beast of his.
Yes. His big 14 coffin
Spider baby.
chamber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is basically like what the hell is going to happen with this thing. It looks kind of like some kind of energy generator or something.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
Yeah.
and my theory is that the winner of the contest is blessed with some kind of power, or that like from the aura of the other contestants or something.
It could be
That makes
like-
sense.
a kingly.
Like the aura from the Nen beasts like combine into one, and then they get like a super Nen beast or something and some crazy power.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, or maybe it's powering up some sort of ability. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, those are some possibilities.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yep. You missed
You know,
one.
I know.
I'll read it out now.
I got it.
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
read it. Don't worry. I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
miss it. How dare I miss this one? Togashi is secretly writing
I'm
another
not saying
manga.
it's a bad thing. No, okay. Yeah, we can cover this and then we'll jump back up.
Oh, of course. That one. Oh no, not that.
This is a really funny meme. Like, it's basically saying, yeah, he's not actually like super butthurt. He doesn't have any back problems. He just like taking time to write this other manga. I think this is the implication for this one.
He's rewriting the ending of Yu Yu Hakusho.
He's gone rebel and he's writing like his fantasy like LGBT tennis thing or whatever it was. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Funny.
This is just a funny troll.
Yeah, that was funny. All right, I'll go back.
This one is full of trolls.
Yeah, like,
it is.
Hunterchad. I mean, it has a picture of Hisoka blowing a bubblegum bubble, so...
True.
All right, I'll go back to the one that we missed, which we did cover in a prior episode, which is Pariston played a role in the Kurta Massacre as Sheila. Has your guys' opinion changed at all in the past few months?
No.
Yeah, neither have I.
It's just funny to think. Yeah, there's lots of fun stuff around
Cross-dresser
Pariston being
Pariston.
Sheila.
Cross-dresser Pariston.
It's a fun, like, what if scenario.
Yes.
I like it, but yeah, it's
Gone Hill.
No. Stop. Stop. Ban. All right.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It's because you can like go take another jump beyond like the ridiculousness of this series, and then say maybe Pariston is Gon's mum.
Bruh.
But yeah,
first the pregnancy stones, now the paraging. How far have you fallen?
going more right.
I'm rising.
The iceberg has gotten to you. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm becoming the troll. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, let's go. Next, Hulkenberg knows Sarai Nick's true nature. Do you guys think that this may be true?
Actually, interesting. I
think it's possible.
So I feel like I think it's a no, but it's an interesting one to think about. It kind of forces you to think about who Hulkenberg is as a character. Maybe this theory was written before Hulkenberg confronted his dad about the ceremony. I feel like Hulkenberg would be pretty staunchly against Serednik. Like, they wouldn't have any kind of relationship if he knew what was going on with him.
I don't think they really even have a relationship to begin with, right?
No, I think Hulkenberg describes Serednik as like a close like confidant or a friend or something.
Okay.
So, or like there's some kind of relationship there. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. If he did know, I feel like he would have confronted Serednik and like been really like up in his face about it, like he did with the king. So, like probably not is my guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I mean, well, it's hard.
You guys
want
to move on?
Since there hasn't been much
sorry.
interaction between the two, but
yeah, we haven't seen
brothers,
much.
But yeah, like
they have different moms.
I think it might be possible that Hulkenberg's downfall is underestimating Serednik. If they have some kind of relationship, Hulkenberg might come to Serednik to lean on that, and then Serednik, I can imagine, would end up using that to his advantage and then betraying him.
Yeah.
So that could be an interesting thing to keep in mind. Anyway, should we just move on?
Yeah, let's just go. All right, next. Alika is actually a girl. So as we know, Alika, I'm pretty sure, is biologically male. Alika was born a boy. However, Alika identifies as female. So I personally believe that Alika is trans. But this theory is this is
Same.
basically saying, oh, Alika was actually born a girl. Alika was born female, so she's just naturally female. But it's just the Zoldyck family always says their children is like a son or a boy or a brother.
Yeah.
I think this theory actually could be true. It makes sense with the whole parenting conflicts within the Zoldyck family. I've heard like situations like I lived in Thailand for a bit, and I've heard situations where a family wants a boy but they get a girl, but they just raise them as a boy anyway. So I've heard of like situations like that, and maybe it could be like referring to that. It could be totally possible.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, within the realm of
don't
possibility.
Really believe this, but why not?
I still believe
You know?
that Alika was born male but identifies as female, so she is trans. However, I wouldn't be too surprised if she was actually born natural female. I mean, totally possible, but I just am not a firm believer in it.
Yeah, I think Tagashi's kind of left it open enough for like speculation.
Interpretation, yeah.
There's all we really know is that the family calls Alika boy, and Killua and Alika herself refer to her as her. So yeah, that's kind of all we have to go off of.
Yep.
It's just looking at like the scenario from different angles, and I think this is actually an interesting one because it applies to like what we've seen all throughout the Zoldyck family, and like the themes of parenting styles and abuse in those styles. So it could be really interesting.
Explore,
Yeah. Anyway, that about covers that. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, let's continue. So, next, we have Zig adopted Nanika. I think that's definitely a possibility considering he's been to the Dark Continent, and I'm pretty sure Nanika is I, even though it hasn't been explicitly confirmed. It's all been but confirmed at this point. Officially, of course. Everyone definitely does speculate that Nanika is I, knowing how Zig is one of the 3 people in Netsuro's crew who went to the Dark Continent, and Zig is I'm pretty sure Zeno's father or grandfather, so he definitely did have connections to allegedly, of course, he did have connections to the Zoldyck family, so Nanika could have easily had went into Alika as a physical host. I definitely think that this is true.
I think it's super possible. There's like a kind of a blank space, like a question mark when it comes to Zig, like the older members of the Zoldyck family. And like the question mark also applies to how Nanika kind of bonded with Aluka, or like binded to them. I'm not really sure how to phrase that, but there's a whole question mark there. So like the whole story behind how Nanika came to be in the first place could have something to do with like Zig and how he looks at Aluka and Nanika. Like maybe he had like a soft spot for her, and that's why he kind of took on the Nanika portion, and like it ends up existing within the family even though they're also like afraid of it. That could be like part of the dynamic there. It'd be really interesting to kind of see more about that.
Yeah, that would be interesting if we actually had some confirmation, some closure, you could say.
Yeah, like what's Zig's like role in all of this, basically?
Yes, because
that guy.
Yeah.
Who is that
Who is this
guy?
old man?
Hey, what is Zig doing? I heard that
Zig's name, by
smirk.
the way.
I heard that smirk. I got that out of you.
I was drinking.
You were drinking.
Yeah.
I see.
Say funny phrase, I laugh. I hate my brain. All right. Let's keep it rolling. I don't think there's much more to that one.
Yep. Okay, we're down to the last few. Next, Dark Continent's lost technology.
Pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't think this is really based off of anything other than... No, it is based off of something. The huge city that was the abandoned city in the Dark Continent that Bryon protects or whatever. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's referring to that.
Oh, yeah.
And that there could be some level of technology there, like that could differ from the human stuff that we see.
Right.
Yeah. And thought they have like... Wasn't there like this material that produced electricity or something?
That's
a naturally occurring one.
That's one of the it's called unmanned rock. That's the kind of rock that produces energy. I'm pretty sure while underwater. Are you thinking of Metallian as well potentially?
But what if the Dark Continent, like people used it to make their own tech or something?
I see where you're coming from. Yeah, they are totally a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the idea.
That does leave the question though. If there was some type of civilization on the Dark Continent in that abandoned city, and there was lost technology, would it be super advanced? Would it be super primitive, or would it be something near modern age technology?
Good question.
Because I think it's either or, like one of the extremes.
Yeah.
Like they either figured out how to use the technology and they were like cracked out the wazoo, or like the Dark Continent rolled them before they could like really delve into technology.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would be
I
interesting.
agree with that.
So I'm personally going to guess that considering it's the Dark Continent, and if there was a certain type of civilization and they were able to survive the Dark Continent, it would have very powerful technology. If the beings did not have some inert ability or special, just something special about them that can have them survive the very rough terrain and environment of the Dark Continent. So, personally, if it is lost tech and we do come across ancient tech, I would imagine it would be more advanced. But then again, that's usually like a trope in media where it's like if like the main character comes across an ancient and lost civilization on like some unknown planet or something like that, it usually says, oh, they're just very advanced. So I'm wondering if Togashi is going to follow that trope and say, oh, these people
he might,
were just super decked out in terms of their tech compared to us humans. Or he could go with a different saying, like, oh, if we're exploring time travel back to ancient human times, they're like super primitive technology. Maybe it's like, which maybe the super primitive technology of the Dark Continent is equal to, let's say, modern human technology, because the proportions might be different. What might be primitive in the Dark Continent might be super high tech for humans, because the proportions are so out of whack and we don't have any details. It's just it could be anything. So I would like to see more of this. If we come across the Dark Continent, if there was some lost technology, we can get an idea about this supposed civilization that developed technology far enough that humans were able to learn how to use it and just understand the use of it. So yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it was the Bryans all along.
It was the what all along? Sorry.
The Bryans.
Oh, I see.
Maybe.
They made all the tech.
Aren't they just like humans that have been infected by some like plant thing? And then the plant makes them like super strong.
Weapon or whatever. Wasn't that the thing?
Botanical weapon or something.
Botanical, yeah. That's the...
Yeah, so I don't know if they're manufactured or if it's just like like an infection, kind of like a zombie virus thing that makes the host like ultra powerful, but like, you know, turns them into a zombie. That's crazy to think about. Ultra powerful zombies, Monka W.
Yeah.
Thanks for the Twitch chat.
Yeah, sorry guys, if you're hearing me say like all the like Pepe hands, Monka W, it's basically just like little green frogs doing like emojis. Like if you're interested in what they mean, look them up and you'll get an idea.
I think our audience is well versed enough in pop culture to know what Pepe is.
Perhaps.
All right, we know that you live in the Twitch stream. Not everyone does. All right.
Yeah, sorry, it's just become like a subconscious thing now.
Remember, guys, say poggers in chat.
Poggers! Okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah. Okay, next. Gyro is not in Meteor City. Did we get any ideas if he really was in Meteor City? Like, were there any hints or notes to?
Anywhere.
Yeah, because Gyro just he was explained in the backstory by Welfin, and now he's just we know nothing about him. We have no idea of his whereabouts. So I mean,
Gyro is on the boat.
I knew you were gonna say it, but it still made me laugh. All right, I don't think he's in Meteor City. Why would he be in Meteor City? What's in
I don't
Meteor
know,
City?
maybe he wants to negotiate with the elders.
Why would he?
Yeah.
Why would
I think
he?
it was because Meteor City is easier to like control or something. Maybe I don't know. Like there's more room for chaos over there, so he could have a land to like rule.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could be anywhere, really.
Yeah. I personally don't think Gyro's in Meteor City, and I honestly, knowing how large the Hunter series is in terms of its world, he could be anywhere. You know what? I'll just say this, just to be controversial. Gyro's in the Dark Continent. He's at Lake Mobius. He somehow was able to get to the Dark Continent all the way to the giant lake. That's where he is.
Funnily enough, I think it could be possible that he actually is on the boat. I think his trajectory is figuring out how to gain the most power he can. So I think that includes kind of scouting out the current state of Meteor City, seeing if he can take advantage of it in any way. And if not, like gathering information and kind of seeing where the power in the world lies at the moment. Seeing the whole fiasco, like going to the Dark Continent and stuff, it could like pose itself as an opportunity for him to like become the new ruler of the Dark Continent or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking like real broad here.
That's understandable.
Maybe he's going to be attracted to Pariston and like the army of Chimera ants, and maybe he wants to like control the Chimera ants, or maybe work with Pariston. Who knows? Like he could like. There's a bunch of different ways this character could go, but I think you can kind of refine it to certain points in the story where the power lies. I think he would be attracted to those power points.
Probably. Yeah.
Anyway,
it makes sense to me.
All right then. Realistically, I think Gyro is just somewhere.
he
exists.
I mean, he would be somewhere as opposed to nowhere if he hasn't killed himself or something. I don't know.
I don't see him committing suicide.
Let's keep the ball rolling.
All right.
I don't see it.
Second to last theory, Requiem 2.0. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
This is based on the Crawlo on the lower deck, and then like the number of like the block that he was in or something being like very ultra specific to being like the number of like chaos, death, and sacrifice or something like that. I remember there was like Reddit threads on that when that chapter came out. So I think this is based on that. And it's totally possible that there's going to be a super duper Requiem on the Black Whale.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a second kind of artsy thing, maybe.
Yep. The prince is sacrificed. Feat Crawlo.
Whoa.
Ultimate rap battles of history. Okay. Last one.
Mankind is a calamity.
Which is a pretty cool one, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that bro tier.
We're so deep.
But I think it's cool enough.
Yeah, this should be called Bro Hunter Tier.
Yeah,
bro, dude.
No, we've got the next tier, which already just means bro tier. And
this is actually the pothead tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We just have to label it different types of drugs. Like normie tier is Tylenol. Hunterchad is just we tier. The next tier is just blank, and then just the bottom is just like black tar heroin plus ecstasy. It's just gonna be that.
Crocodile.
Crocodile plus black tar heroin. Let's go. Anyway, back on track. I think mankind could be a calamity. However, there's just so many of us.
I mean, it depends on the context of the
Yeah, I mean,
dark continent. Like, how big is it really?
mankind
Or,
is. Oh, sorry.
yeah, like if depend on in what context, like the world, the humans, mankind is living versus the dark continent. It could very well like go into this weird ass like loop thing where, well, it's hard to explain, but like you have
Yeah.
mankind, then you have all of these weird creatures, calamities, whatever in the dark continent. But then maybe what if the dark continent is between its own island or something? Like it can go
yeah,
to
it
this
just keeps
kind of
expanding.
length.
If mankind was a calamity, it would probably be the weakest out of the. If between mankind, the calamity, and the 5 other great calamities, it's probably the weakest one.
But it also has the most potential because of intelligence. Because intelligence can like harness any power, basically.
That is true.
So it's kind of debatable on that level.
However,
True, yeah.
actually, we don't know how intelligent the other calamities are. I mean, the Chimera ants who aren't even a calamity, right? They're a B tier, if not A tier, bounty. Those creatures from the Dark Continent have reached in like genius levels of human intellect in a month. If they were able to acquire that in that short amount of time, what could the calamities be potentially into? So even if we have intelligence, the other calamities' higher intelligence could just defeat ours, even in terms of potential and in terms of, let's say, raw physical power or even the amount of aura they have. What if they have so much aura that they don't even need to have like an official Nen ability to attack a human? They would just have so much aura that would overload a human.
Yeah. I reckon that's probably most of the Dark Continent. Just like creatures with like aura and shit. It's like, oh shit, we're about
They
to
probably
die.
have to have 10 or maybe some other advanced techniques like maybe Ken in case if there's some type of like active at all times in order to protect yourself. Because who knows? Because what if there's like some microscopic bug flying around, it lands on you, and then it just sticks you with lethal poison, or like with some
some manipulator bug.
Yeah, I mean, the Dark Continent is so wide, and from its super vague description and the high level threats that are supposedly there, anything could be there. Its potential is infinite. So I think it's just a matter of time, and that this is why everyone needs to be versatile in the use of Nen on board. That's why the best Nen users are coming along, the most proficient. But if mankind really is a calamity, we are the weakest calamity, in my opinion. From what we've seen, of course. Maybe there are other calamities out there, but then again, if they really were weaker than us, then really would we call them a calamity? Because we have to specify what a great calamity is, if you know what I mean. We'd have to set guidelines.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with like potential of destruction of like the human race or something. And then like things with high potential become like a calamity is basically just like whatever is imposed upon humanity upon like failing a trip to the Dark Continent or like just going there in the first place. I can't remember the specifics of that, like how they come to exist, but it's just something that is imposed upon humanity. Whether it's a threat or not is another thing, and I think the threat level is just how easy can this just freaking roll us,
right?
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe mankind is some kind of ancient calamity. Maybe Nen is like an adaptation that was like, you know, a part of this calamity or something. There's lots of fun stuff, but it's just kind of like a fun little theory. It's not really a meme, but it's a fun one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about wraps up. Yeah, I've been dealing with rats this past week. We've had to buy some mouse traps. I'm not even kidding. This is not like a meme. Like,
Damn.
Yeah, we've apparently Australia has been dealing with some kind of mouse infestation, like some uptick in mice and rats or something.
I've heard about
it's really
that.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
I don't know.
videos
I
of
don't know if that's
That's
just a rumor,
nasty.
but
no, it is true. There's huge mouse and rat infestation across. I'm pretty sure Eastern Australia. It's an epidemic of some sort. It's fucking nasty.
yeah, it's weird. But yeah, it's funny that anyway.
All right.
That about wraps up this tier, the Hunterchad tier, part 2 of the podcast. Let us know what you thought. If any of these iceberg theories or memes inspired any interesting thought, leave them in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Yes.
And yeah, make sure to come back next week when we post part 3
Of the Iceberg Chronicles.
The Iceberg.
Coming this summer.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.